Yes, 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 yes. Feels good to be here again. It's been how many weeks now? 2 weeks. I apologize. Last week I wanted to come online, come live, but the network was just doing all sorts, so we couldn't be here. But that's that. Here we are again. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. How did your Easter go? This is the time that Jesus Christ resurrected from the dead. Yeah. And then as they say, every dead thing in our life, in our parenting journey with our teenage daughters, with our preteen daughters, it resuscitates, but on the path of knowledge. Yeah. Yes. All right. So how did this one the Easter? Okay, how did I spend mine? I went to church. After got back, Easter food. I'm not tell you what I hate. Yeah. But all and all has been good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So good to have you. It's good to be back here. Good to also have you back here. And just in case my nose is doing, I apologize in advance. I've been down with the flu. So that's why my nose can be just doing apologies accepted already. All right, let's dive on straight to it. Today we'll be oh gosh. Today we'll be talking about how to raise the empathy level of your teenage girl. See, for everything I discuss here, or for everything I come here to share with us, it is what I have gleaned from my journey with girls, what I've gleaned from working with girls, from being girls mentor, girls friends, girl sisters, and girl mother. Yeah, but basically from what I have learned from working with girls. Those are the things I come to share about, so that it's things that are tangible, things that I have seen girls and mothers of girls struggle with. Yes. So that's what we'll talk about. So it's not necessarily that's not what they say when I read this one, I read that. No, we're talking of being my coach would say being on the field. Yeah. If you're talking of being on the field, at least trust me, I've been on the field for a while. So those are the things I will share about. One of the things I've also come to realize with parents, a lot of us we put a lot of things on our girls, we put a lot of expectations on them, how that they'll be in our lives forever, how that this, how that. But you know what? Let me shock us. Most of those girls that we think, oh, we're wrapping our lives right around them, most of them cannot wait to get out of our homes. Trust me. Especially if you have a daughter that is 14, 15, most of them are willing, they are ready, they are eager to explore the world. They want to see what the world is saying, they want to see what is happening, they want to just explore. And in that, they're not, it doesn't mean that they are selfish. That's just how they are at that particular point in time. And here you are thinking, oh, my daughter, she's going to understand that I'll miss her, I'll this, or that. Let me shock you. Your daughter will not understand. Though. Your daughter has a like. I was talking to my friend because of the week, and we were discussing things, and she was like, "Hey, have you forgotten that that girl was going to be 18?" And I said, and I just paused. I said, "It's true." And 18 is just around the corner, yeah. So when they have gone, but before they go, how do you build empathy? How do you make them? How do they leave home and want to come back home? I think that's about it. Because already you're preparing for them to leave home. Let's go back to us. I like to go back to us. So many of us, when we talk to our parents, how how is our conversation with our parents now that we're no longer at home? Some of us want to just send them their monthly allowance for them to eat. That's the end. Yeah, that's the end. We don't know what's happening in their lives again. Like we practically don't know what's happening in their lives the same time. One day we're going to be in that shoe. I hope we know. One day we're going to be the parent that whose girl daughter, whose girl child has left the home and is one country or the other. So when we get to that level, how are we sure that those kids are going to I wish I'm with my mom. Do you understand? And it's not going to happen then. Now, and that's the conversation that we want to have today. So I said how to raise empathy, the empathy level of your teenage girl, and I've already told us most girls want to leave home for whatever reason, because the atmosphere is whatever, for whatever reasons, whatever reason. So it is your work to ensure that your kids, and you know what, this thing nobody's going to teach you, but it's when it happens that you now remember, oh, I think Coach Fim said something like this. So it is your duty to ensure that your kids don't want to leave your home, not because they're not ready, but because they love. Do you understand? They love the atmosphere around you. They love when I'm at work. My daughter's like, "Oh, mommy, I have missed you so much. I want you to come back. This. I gotta work." Do you understand? But it may not always be like that. But for the time that is like that, you need to now maximize that time. You need to maximize it so that when they leave, there's something that is connecting you and them, and you're not just raising them. They're ready for the world, and then they go psh, and then they never come back. So that's what we're talking about. How do you so? And it is one of the things that they're going to require to want to even call you, to want to talk to you, speak with you for hours on hand on the phone. Is this thing we're talking about this evening? So empathy, yeah. A lot of girls do things and they don't consider only themselves. And you know the way the world has turned to, everybody is saying, "Do you be you? Do you be you?" That's what everybody is saying. Do what works for you, blah blah blah. You know all those selfish narrative. It's all about you, all about what makes you happy. But unfortunately, your life can't be all about you. It can't be. I understand the place of putting yourself first and everything, but definitely, if everything you're doing about you is about you, then you're not living. You're not leaving. So how do we get them? So we have to, how do we get to raise the empathy level so that when they go, when they leave school, when they leave, and when they leave our homes for school, they leave our homes for wherever it is, we're able to tell them that there's something that connects us and them together, so much so that they are eager. They won't run back. For example, I keep saying that I miss my mom and all of that. It's because of things, and when we come back together, there's a lot of love to go around, a lot of, good memories to go around. That's what we're talking about. All right, let's dive right onto it. Or before I go, just in case you're watching me for the first time, I forgot. I just took it for granted. My name is Fumilola Akintola Williams. I'm the lead coach at the Informed and Reformed Science Academy. It's an academy for young girls. Why, by the grace of God, will help you to help your young girls transition from pre-tween to teenage and then from teenage to adulthood. We have a curriculum that will work with. So if you have a girl child, please bring them on board. They're safe with us. Trust me. Yeah, that's that. So you have to understand empathy. Your teenage girl has to understand empathy by living it. That's the best way. They have to understand empathy by living it. They have to know what does it mean to be what does it mean to be empathetic. It's very simple. It's by living it. For example, the girls at home, they were talking the other time, and then somebody said something to the other that I wouldn't, didn't quite go well. And I asked, if that was said to you, how would you take it, or how would you feel about it? That's simple. That's all there is to it. That's empathy. They have to understand by living it. So let them know that that's this. When you're doing that, what you're doing is that you are raising the empathy level. They're able to put themselves, and of course, what is empathy? It is simply putting yourselves in the shoes of others. Empathy is simply putting yourself I'm switching positions that if it were me, how would I react? If it were me, how would I take it? If it were me, how am I gonna do this thing? That is the long and short of empathy. So your teenagers, they have to understand empathy by doing what? By living it. All right. So, and they're not the one living it now. You are the one living it. And they are saying, don't forget that you are reflective. Your parenting is reflective. Everything you're doing is reflective. They're seeing you, they're watching you, how you're doing, how you're taking things, how you talk to that person in your home, how you talk to that person that you feel is not as, all of those things they are watching. So how are you living your life? Are you empathetic? Especially when you're on phone with your parents, do you have the patience for them? Or do you feel irritated by them? Can you stand them? Some of us can't stand our parents for whatever reason. Yeah, and I'm not saying that it's your fault. I'm just saying that your kids also are learning. They are learning how to treat you when they also get to that stage. So they see how you're irritable, they see how even not with your parent, but people that are close to you, they see all of those things and they're learning. They're learning. So the question is, when you're living, are your kids able to view empathy from your way of life? Are they able to say that, oh, mom places herself in the shoes of other people, or dad places himself in the shoes of other people? And you know what? Without even having to say, hey, be empathetic, hey, be kind, hey, be this, be that, you're already preaching it. You're already doing that without even saying it. What you want them to do, you are reflecting it in the way you are going on about on your empathy by living it. All right, and the way we normally do when talking to you, when it's something that you're learned, when it's something that resonates with you, put in the question. That's how I know that you're learning and then we're gaining something together. All right, next one. How do you raise their empathy level? You do that by feeling their unease and discomfort. Some of us, I just finished reading a book, Winning the Heart of Your Child, and it opened my eyes to a lot of insights. And some of us are not able to feel the discomfort of our children. We're not able to feel their unease. You know, you're not able to feel how everywhere, maybe because we're so busy with this adulthood of a thing. I know that it's a lot of work. I know that it is really taking its toll on us. But hey, can we pause and live for a bit? Can we just pause and live for a bit? Because before you know it, right before our eyes, they're gone. They have left our homes. In all these, I'm struggling for them. Everything I'm doing because of them. Are you aware? Are you honestly aware that yes, one day they're going to leave? So in that time that you have together, can you feel their comfort, their discomfort rather? Can you feel their unease? That is how to raise a level, by feeling their unease. Some of our when your teenager is actually wearing their, how do they say that word now? They are wearing their what's the word now? They are wearing their heart on their sleeves. Some of us are still not able to feel it. We're still not able to sense it. Some of us, your teenagers, because of the way they are at that stage, they literally don't want to say anything to you, but they are actually, they are talking to you non-verbally. Of course, by now we know that there's verbal communication, there's non-verbal communication. So they're literally talking to you non-verbally, but because you're wrapped up in your own whatever it is too, you're not even saying it, you're not feeling it. So how are you gonna teach empathy like that? For example, your teenager is wearing, for your normally boisterous teenager that is always up and about, just sits down and then wants to be left alone. That's the conversation already. Or for example, your teenager that would normally be calm, be patient, and then the younger one does something and he snaps or she snaps. That's a conversation already. Or your teenager that would ordinarily not eat so much, be picky with food, starts to binge on food. That's a conversation already. Or for example, your teenager that will normally have a healthy appetite and then begins to pick other food. That's a conversation already. He's trying to communicate something to you. And at the same time, he doesn't want, sorry, because our focus is on girls. She doesn't want to talk. Do you understand? So are you able to feel it? Are you able to feel? Are you able to know when something is off with your child? Are you able to feel when something is off with your child? It's there in the scriptures that even if that is it possible for a woman to forget a baby that is suckling at her breast? So are you able to still feel? Despite the fact that they're no longer suckling at your breast, are you able to feel when something is off with your teenager? Are you able to feel when your teenager is under pressure and then doesn't want to talk, and then you have to really cajole and then you have to really maybe tell the other adults in her life and all of that? Are you able to feel all of those things? So when you do that, what you are doing is you are building the empathy level of your teenage girl, so that one day when she also becomes a mother or when she leaves your home, from just saying hi to you on the phone, say hello mommy, how are you, she's able to deduce that hey, something is off with mom. Why? Because you have deduced several that something is off with daughter. I don't know whether you understand what I am saying. So that's how you do. So you have to be in tune with your girls. It doesn't matter. That doesn't say that you shouldn't work. If I just call and if something is wrong, I'm gonna know by just a call. And of course, sometimes they just want the attention. It's fine. Just give it and fill the tank, and then you move on again. But you must be able to feel their unease, feel their discomfort, feel their challenge that they're not even saying, they're not talking about. That's your role. That's your duty. So that, because I told you at level of life, don't forget you're not going to be the most influential, but you're still a voice in their lives. But you're not the most influential at that point. But can you now use that relegation level of influence that you have? Can you still use it to walk your way back into the heart of your teenager? Can you feel their discomfort? Can you feel their pain? Can you feel their struggles? And trust me, when they say they have struggles, they do have struggles. They do have struggles. So when you do this, when you're able to feel it, how do you feel with that connection? You see, we're back to our connection thing. We're back to our connection parenting. So if you're not connected, how are you going to feel? And she says, you see that she's just there, and then she says, I'm okay, and then you just take it like that at face value, and then she goes, and then that is the end of it. The next you're going to be hearing is what is not palatable to the ears. So when you do this, what do? You are raising the empathy level of your teenage girl by doing what? By feeling their unease, by feeling their discomfort. They're able to know when something is off. When something is off, let them know that you know. It doesn't matter, yeah, whether they now let you in on it. That's another discourse entirely. So if they let you in on it, it's beautiful. But if they choose not to let you, well, at least they know. And then you say something like, you know what? When you're ready, when you're willing, I am right here. You will not know what that does to the life of your teenage girl. But the knowledge that somebody is there, if I ever need to say anything, if I ever need to speak out, if I ever need to voice out, there's somebody there. It does something to change their perspective about love, about relationship, and about empathy that we're talking about. I hope that you're learning something. All right, to the next one. You raise the empathy level by deflecting on their wants all of the time. You see, this thing is very dicey. You can say, I just said now that you should feel them. Yeah, you can feel them, you can know what's going on. But of course, it doesn't mean that you succumb to every of their wants. You have to deflect their wants. You see what I said? Want, I did not say need. wants. Because you know what? Your teenager, they're always gonna want. But the fact remains that they actually the most and what you're responsible to them for is just their needs, not their wants. So it's not everything. It's not because you can afford everything, you give them everything. It's not because you can do everything for them, you do everything for them. Deflect on it because why? They let them understand that there's some girls in their shoes that do not have everything. Let me give you an example. Yesterday, the girls at the academy where where my daughter is being mentored, they are supposed to fast. And right now, even currently right now, I think that not I think Muslims all over the world are fasting. And girls as young as 8, maybe 7 or 9 or whatever, they're already fasting. But for Christian girls, maybe because they don't during Lent, they do not fast every day. What am I driving at? So my little girl was fasting, and then by 1 p.m. she says, I want what now? What was that thing that she wanted? She said, I want to drink water. I said, it's fine. After your fast, you drink water. See, you know what? It is because you are fasting. That's why you have not eaten. Some girls your age, they are not fasting and they have nothing to eat. So that's it. And then she goes, really? I said, really? And at one time or the other, we have had cause to check videos, documentaries of countries that are, that have suffering girls. So we have seen those kind of things. What are you doing? You're trying to build empathy. They're trying to understand that, you know what, everything I have is actually a privilege. There are girls like me somewhere in the world. I was privileged to be at the girls' hub, last week, yeah, and I was teaching the girls there, and I was saying to them that say these things that you're hearing, you're privileged to hear it. It's not every girl that has this opportunity. It's not every girl that has the opportunity to be hearing these things that you're hearing. So make the best of it. And then, begin to plan your lives around these things that you are hearing. So what are you doing? And so some girls can't fathom that things don't just happen for every girl. Some girls can't fathom it. But the fact remains that things don't, as a matter of fact, things don't happen for most of the girls. So if your girl is amongst the few that things happen for, they have to understand that there are some people that things don't just happen for. So let them understand. Let them know. Let them understand these things. So it's not every of their wants. Say, you know what? You can't afford to raise a child that everything the child wants to give to the child. That's dangerous. It's a dangerous place to be as a parent. Everything the child wants, everything the child needs, and everything. One day the child is going to ask you something that you cannot afford. Something that makes absolutely no sense. You can't afford it. And because he's used to having his way, and he's not able to understand the pain of other people. He's not able to understand, and then they begin to deride other people. They begin to see other people like not as up to them, not as good as them. So you must learn, and teenagers can be very selfish. Trust me, they want everything for themselves: the latest gadgets, the latest phones, the latest everything they want for themselves. So you have to know when to stamp your feet ground and say, and down rather, and say no, and your no is gonna be no. So you don't just go about, oh mommy, I want to change my phone because you can afford it. Then far you go. Oh mommy, I want to change my wardrobe because you can afford it. Here we go. So what happens the day she asks you something that you can afford? And do not think that you can afford everything. There's definitely some things that you cannot afford. And I don't mean in terms of money. Do you understand? And when you're doing that, what are you trying to do? You're making them understand that it is not everybody. It is not everybody that has a license to all of these things that they have. So what does that do for them? It makes them appreciate what they have the more. And then what he does another what he also raises their empathy level the more. All right, I hope you're learning something. So let's move on to the next one. Understand the developmental stages of a teen girl. You have to understand this. Understand this. The developmental stages of a teenage girl, how they are growing, when they are on their period, when they're having breakouts. That breakout, oh, they hate it so much. I remember as a teenager, I used to wonder wasn't smooth, and then why the face of my elder sister is always smooth. I used to wonder. And 25 years later, I'm still wondering. So you have to understand with them. So when they are able to identify with you on that note, as simple as that is, what are you doing? You are building empathy with them. So when you understand, when you sympathize, oh, you really do not like how your face is right now, because it's a big deal to a teenager. Oh, trust me, that's pimple-free face. Most teenagers want to die for it. I know what they can't escape it. At least 90% of them cannot escape it. They're going to have it. So you let them know that you understand. Let them know that you feel them. But you know what? Let them know that see they cannot escape it. It is part of growing up. So when they know that you really understand, not that they are there talking about their face or they are there, they are bothered, and then the next thing you go like, what's your problem? What is it? What is it? What is it? They can't relate. And in that moment, you're going to lose connecting with them on that basis. So that means even if they're not having issues with period, difficult periods, whatever it is, hormonal changes, and all of that, they will not be able to come to you because you already told them, what is it? I don't want. I don't want to have pimples, blah, 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 blah. Your teenager may not be the only one to have pimples, but right now she doesn't know. She thinks that everybody's looking at her on the street rather. Forget that once you're on the street, nobody even sees you. But to her, and when you just look at her, you even if it's just to admire her, your teenage girl thinks that it's because of her pimples that you're looking at her, it's because of her freckles that you're looking at her. But when you're able to understand, or for example, they're on their period. I remember my elder sister used to have a very difficult menstrual cycle. Very difficult and very painful, and she'll be rolling on the floor. And then some days, I think she even missed school some days. And then when she's like that, and then what do? You go, what is this? How you don't know that we have period? How you the first get to have period? Come on, don't raise a monster that way. Because you know what you're doing, you're telling them that is how to respond to people in pain. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That you respond to people in pain by lacking sympathy, by not understanding, by not showing empathy. And that's exactly what you're handing down to her. And that's also what she will be learning as well. Definitely that's not what you want to communicate. So even though she's there rolling on the floor, she doesn't want to do her chores, she's lethargic, she's lazy. You see builds on, you say, oh, you know what? I know that that's how you feel, but you know what? I'm going to get you a couple of painkillers and then you get better in no time. Then she knows that you're able to what our issue was at that time. You are able to deeply resonate with it, and then that's you lecturing on empathy without actually lecturing. I hope that you're learning something. We mentioned how many things now. I said number one, you have to understand empathy by living it. Number two, I said raise your empathy level by feeling their unease. Feel your daughter's unease. Feel your daughter's discomfort. Feel their pain. Some of us have become so rigid, so mechanical, so stereotyped that we don't feel. And you say, let her, she will snap out of it. What if she doesn't? What if she doesn't? Forgetting that these young ones are really contending with a lot of things, a lot are facing the young ones, a lot of pressures that we didn't have, a lot of pressures, a lot. To belong, to feel among friends, to be popular, to know the latest trend, just this pressure. Sometimes it gets to them. And because it gets to them, they tend to shut down. And when they shut down, what do? You shut them down the more. By saying to them that, what is this? Are you the only one? Or by simply not seeing them, even though you're living in the same house with them. And you want them to one day leave the house and call you. Call you for what exactly? Call you for what exactly? So we have to watch it. All right. So I raise the empathy level by deflecting on their wants all the time. You can't keep handing everything your teenage girl wants to you. You can't keep doing that. That's excuse me. That is definitely anti-productive. You can't keep giving to your teenagers what they want all of the time. All right, let's go on. I said the next thing is put your perfectionism tendency in check for a while. Dear parents, I know you're perfect. I know you have never been in the wrong. I know that since you've been born till now, you've never done a single thing that was wrong. I know that, yeah? But you know what? Can you not put this in the face of your teenagers? Yes, I know you're perfect. You never made a slip, never made a mistake, never made any wrong. Your life has just been dandy, smoothie. I know. But you know what? Your teenager is not perfect. Your teenage girl is not perfect. She's gonna learn her mistakes. She's gonna learn her errors. She's gonna make decisions, and you're gonna wonder, where did I get this girl from? So can you refrain from saying things like, when I was like you, I never did stupid thing like that. I never did silly things like that. Can you refrain? Because when you do that, what you're doing, you're pushing the perfectionism narrative. And it's a failed narrative. Let me just tell you. Like coach, you say it's a failed narrative. Don't even go and be saying those kind of things. They will never be able to relate with you. They are wondering where you're from. They're really wondering where you're from. And because they can't relate with you. And if what they see in you is the perfect, trust me, you're going to be raising zombies. Girls that will pretend so much to you. because they know that you're going to tell them that, you know what, it's never happened to you before. And they don't want to hear, trust me, they do not want to hear that conversation. So if you must raise empathy, if you must raise their empathy level, if you want a time when they have left your home, they're still gonna call, you're still gonna talk. You know, I was on the phone with my mom the other time, and my daughter said, mom, yeah, your mommy, yeah, you're just talking. I said, see this one. Oh. You think that I don't have mother? I have mother, oh. You know, I can be on the phone for hours just talking. We'll talk. The one that is reasonable, the one that's not reasonable, we will fight, we'll everything on, you know. So one day, can you please? I know that your perfectionism. Please let it be between you and your spouse. The two of you just be discussing the perfectionism while you are together. Don't push it to your kids. Don't shove it down the throat of your teenage girl. She doesn't need it. She needs a mother that understands that she's going to make errors, going to sleep, going to make mistakes, and she needs a mother that will love her all through that, all through her mistakes, all through her silliness, all through everything. Then that's when you can build that empathy that we're talking about. That even when I was being silly, while I was being this, while I was being that, my mom, my dad never give up on me. But if you keep telling your girl that, are you okay? Do you know what you're doing? When I was your age, and then you begin to say things that are not even true. Let me even just go there. You begin to say things that are not even true. As though you were a perfect kid. As though you were a perfect child. As though you never made slips, you never made errors. But can you guide them through? Your daughter does not want someone that is perfect. Your daughter wants someone that is relatable, someone that can understand that, oh, even if you make this kind of mistake, this is how to correct it. And then you walk out through the mistake, you let her learn through it, then that's when you are raising a healthy individual. All right. So do not. The next time you are tempted to say, when I was like you, I never. Please just know when you're doing that, you're shutting that empathy in your girl. You're shutting that. How are you shutting that? Because she's not able to relate with you. She doesn't understand someone that doesn't make mistakes. But if, for example, your daughter messes up big time, comes and say, "Hey, mommy, see what I did today," and say, "Oh, hey, yeah, I understand." And I was talking to the girls at that time, and I was talking to them. It was about a crush I had in secondary school. And they looked at me and they were like, "Whoa, really?" I said, "Look at this one, so." Oh, of course I did. And then we had the conversation. Do you know what I have done? I have opened the door for such conversations because I know that they're 14, they're 12, you know. So those are things that they were going to grapple with at that age. And by me telling them of my own, I have opened the door. So they are not afraid that somebody somewhere, and some of us go, hey, what do you mean? You're having a crush. And then you start saying things that the girl has not even ever imagined. And then you say you're raising a party. How are you doing that? You're just joking. You're just joking. How if you're learning? All right, let's go on ahead. The next thing you need to do to raise the empathy level of your teenage girl, you have to teach them between the difference. You have to teach the difference between people pleasing and empathy. This is very, very key and very important. There's people pleasing, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's gonna crush a girl because you can't please everybody. I think we already did a series on people pleasing. Yeah. How not to raise people pleasers. If you go through our video and the chat, the access chat, the videos, we dealt with that extensively. So what am I saying? You have to let them understand that people pleasing and empathy, putting yourself in people's shoes is not the same thing as people walking all over you. So if you are here, I'd like you to put that in the comment section. That putting yourselves is in people's shoes is not the same as people walking all over you. And of course, we know that in this world, for our girls to really stand, they need to understand how from us, how that people will not walk over them, because people are going to try to do that because that's the nature of human beings. They're going to try to walk over them. They're going to try to make them, excuse me, they're going to try to make them like feel that they're not the best. They're going to try to make them feel like there is more that they have better than them, and that they have to what's the word now, they have to match up to them kind of thing. And that's when they begin to lick cars and kiss and people please. And for God's sake, they're going to lose themselves. So let them understand that me putting myself in your shoe does not give you the license to walk all over me. And when they know and if you want to know things about people pleasing, please go. We have dealt with it extensively. Go back to past videos. We talked extensively on what it is to people please, the attributes of people pleasers, and what it can cause even in the psyche of a girl. So let them understand that people pleasing is one thing, empathy is another thing. They have to understand that. Sure that people do not take them for granted. And then they don't begin to think that people pleasing and empathy are one and the same thing. So you have to let them understand the difference. People pleasing is simply you want to be in everybody's good books, and it's not possible. As an adult, I am also just realizing that. And you know what? The thing about people pleasing is that the fact that you have done good things for them, the fact that you have been this, you have been that, does not mean that you're going to be in their good books. Life taught me that. Yeah, life taught me that. So can your children begin to understand that at an early age, so that doesn't become a trauma for them? Like some of the things that we're grappling with right now. So let them understand that you have been good people. You have been good to people. You have been kind to people. See Jesus, the resurrected Christ. The Bible says that God anointed him with Holy Ghost and with the power. And what did he do? He went about doing good and healing all of them that were oppressed of the devil. But what do they do? Despite all of the good that Jesus did, what did they do? They put him on the cross, hung him like a thief, like a common thief. That's what they did. And you know what? The same thing is still happening today. So let your teenagers understand that it's fine. It's okay. But it doesn't mean that they're gonna become callous or become mean or whatever. No. It just means that they're going to have to know where to draw the line between people pleasing and what? And putting other people in their shoes. That is just what that means. All right, let's go on. The next thing, let them see you committed to a cause outside of what is beneficial to just you. This is a very big way to teach empathy. Yeah. Let them see you committed to a cause outside of what is beneficial to just you. Please, can we just not live for ourselves alone? Can our lives mean something else beyond me, my husband, my children, and that is it? Can our life progress to me, my husband, my children, and then what I am doing for humanity? Can our life progress to that point? Can our life progress to the point that me, my children, my family, my vision, and then the people that I am impacting, the things that I am doing for people? Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to matter. Not what you have, not what you wear, not all of the things that we labor and labor and labor about. So let them see you committed to a cause. Let them see you believe in something. And that's going to come from your family values again. You see how all of these things are just is it intertwined or interwoven into each other? Yeah, they have to know what you're living for. If you ask my daughter, what are the things that are important to your mother? She's going to tell you straight off this, and this. Do you understand? It's not me trying to live in her face. It's just me trying to show her a way to live. You can't afford to just be living for yourself. Everything that you're doing is for yourself. As you're planning the future is for yourself. Everything for me, myself, and I. Come on. Let them see you dedicated to something that is higher than you. Because that is when you're truly living. You can't be living just for yourself. Everything about you can't just be for you. So when they see that, when they see how you go out of your way, not that you not inconvenience yourself so greatly. No, what I mean is that when they see when they see the love in your heart for people, when they see how what you do because you love people, that's teaching empathy without sitting them down to say, hey, you know what? You have to be empathetic, you have to be kind. Yeah, do you understand what I am saying? They see how that somebody is in distress and then you're able to do something and then you did. And then you didn't go put on Instagram or what, so that people can know that is what you have done. They see how that struggling person, that struggling neighbor of yours, that struggling friend of yours, and you know what? Deliberately expose your children to these things. You're not doing what's that now that the Bible talks about a man that does something and then he calls someone and say, come and see what I have done. Jesus said he has gotten his reward. When you do things and then you let your children be aware, you are being reflective, you're letting them see what's supposed to be. Don't forget that they are guiding and they are compass in this complex world. So that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. So let them see you. Let them see you committed to a cause outside of what is beneficial to just you. So if everything you do is about what is benefiting just you, you're not living yet. If everything you do is just everything is about you, me, myself, and I, or me, my family, and I, myself, my husband, my children, and that is all. Oh gosh, there's a higher realm of life. There's a higher plane. Yeah, there's more to life. So when they see you committed to these things, a cause, a project, a foundation, anything that benefits God, that benefits people, and that the name of God is glorified, and they see how you put your all into it. You don't have to go and be saying, hey, be empathetic, hey, be kind, hey, be this, hey, be sure that I'm doing others, I don't know what to do. You should put yourself in situation. You don't have to even now go through all of that narrative. Why? Because your life is exemplifying it already. Are we learning something? So live for something that is benefit, that is not just about benefit to you and you alone. So let them see you committed to it, and don't just do it for doing sake. Be really committed to it. Do it and do it well. Knowing that everything you do, your Father in heaven sees it. At least that's what the scripture says. He said, and that your Father in heaven that sees it, what is he gonna do? He's gonna pay you back publicly. Everyone is gonna see. So you really do not need to blow your own trumpet. In dueness of time, the trumpet will be blown. I hope that you're learning something. All right. So the next thing that we're going to talk about when you're talking of raising empathy, you have to expose them to your relationship with your parents. Yeah, this is very deliberate. Not for now, but even for themselves. Because if you don't teach them, they will not know. Don't assume that they're just going to pick it up. I was watching my coach status the other day, and then I saw how that she carried her children to her parents' house or her parent-in-law, something like that. And I said, this is it. This is what we're talking about. That's deliberately exposing the children to the relationship they have with the parents. Because don't forget, one day we're going to be like our parents. Right now, most of us, our parents, if they don't hear from us in a day, their day is not made. Who's going to agree with me? So, if they have not heard, except that they have gone to be with the Lord, but if they don't hear from you one day, they are wondering, are you fine? Are you good? Is everything okay? The way they say where I am, are you okay? So they're going to wonder. That is the level of life they have right now. They need to see us to know that we're fine. They need to hear from us to know that we're good. So let your kids know. So when they're on the phone, when your mom or your dad is on the phone, call your child. Call your child. Let him talk to them. Some of us rather, because of the things that we think that we know or do not know, we I don't know what we do, but sometimes we even shield our children. We shield our children from our parents, kind of. I don't know. Don't misunderstand me. I have not said pack your kids to your children, your parents to raise for you. It is your work, it's your duty, it is your responsibility to raise your kids. But maybe for whatever reasons, I don't know, things can happen, life can happen. That your grandparent, I mean, that your parents can stand in gap. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying expose your children to your parents. You never can tell the things that they're going to pick from them. Let them see your relationship. Let them see how you take care of them. Let them see how you care for them. Let them see. And what are you doing? You're teaching them that when I become like this, and don't forget, don't make me. I'm not saying that because your parents are depending on you for sustenance or livelihood. No, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is let them see how you're being a child to your parents. Let them see firsthand. The way Apostle Paul said that we have seen of the word of life, we have seen, we have handled it. That's what we're talking about. So let them see how you relate with your parents. Let them see how you talk to them. Let them see how you talk to them. Let them see your relationship with them, even with your siblings. What are you doing? You're fostering. You're trying to put a seed in them. Trying to put a seed in them. So don't say, oh, those people they don't understand English. My child doesn't understand Yoruba or whatever language. I don't know what you're talking about. And really, your child should be able to speak your language, whatever your language is. Your child should be able to speak, so that in case your parent don't speak English, it's not a barrier. My child is not Yoruba, but she speaks Yoruba better than as if she really does speak Yoruba, because I know that my mother, even though my mother is learned, but what of my grandma? My grandma is not learned, and they talk on the phone. So how are they going to communicate? How are they going to talk? What are they going to talk about? When she can't even speak my grandmother's language. And then when she talks to my grandmother, she talks to my grandmother as though I am the one talking to my grandmother. So expose them. And then she says, hey, mommy, you've been long we heard from your grandma. Has your mommy called you today? That's it's deliberate on my part, because I'm teaching her, because I know that one day she's going to live like I have left, like you have also left. But even though that you have left, even though that she's gonna leave, she will still have that time. Oh, I need to speak to my mommy. I need to fill my mommy up about my day, and everything is balanced. So expose them. Don't shield them. Your parents are not going to harm your children. Your parents are not going to injure your children. Your parents, for God's sake, they raised you. So whatever it is that you're having with your parents that is making you whatever. Shield your children from your parents. You can resolve it so that your children will not miss out on your parents. Because you know what? Your parents won't be here forever. Some of us, our parents are not even here anymore. My dad is dead. So what are we talking about? So that limited time that you have, that little time that you have, can you make it count for something? Can you not shield them? Can you understand that your parents are not there to hurt your children or harm your children or anything? But rather, what they will do is they will teach them the rich culture of your place that you are not able to teach your children, maybe because you do not know, because you did not take it too hard like that. So expose them to the relationship between your parents. Let them see how you relate to your parents. Let them see how you relate to your siblings. Some of us, our siblings, we don't talk. I don't understand where that's coming from. I don't mean the normal what's the word now, misunderstanding that happens, because it will happen, which you should resolve. Yeah. So currently, but I know that it will be resolved. It's just a matter of things. But some people, by default, they don't talk to their siblings. They don't relate. They don't siblings. I have seen siblings that don't talk together to each other for a year. I have seen it. I have seen. I've experienced a whole year. Are you dead? So it's only it's only when you are dead that you are allowed not to talk to your sibling for a whole year. I don't understand what you're doing. So and then what are you doing? You're teaching. You don't know. And then when you and your husband, or when you're your spouse, when you're your partner, when you're discussing it, you're discussing it, and then your children are hearing. They're hearing that you have not spoken to your mom in 6 months. So she thinks it's okay. So when she's grown and she leaves the house, so she's gonna think it's okay not to speak to you for 8 months. I don't know whether we understand what I'm trying to say. So it's the same thing. So these things that we do, we need to really watch it. We need to really, really be conscious of it. We need to really, really be careful so that we don't make a mess of our process. All right, are we learning something? The next thing that we need to do to raise empathy in our teenage girl, we need to teach it when they see, we teach it rather when they see our relationship with people, not as, quote and unquote, highly placed, quote and unquote, mark those words. When they see how you relate to your driver, when they see how you relate to your cook, to your nanny, to the one that tidies your home, that thing I like to say that is it's a culture of a particular place. There's some places you get to that you know that whether you're a nanny, you're a cook, you're a driver, you're an executive, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a pharmacist, whatever it is that you are, everybody has a level playing ground. But for some culture, they think that if you're a cook, a nanny, you're a driver, you're a this, you're a chef, you are substandard. So this is for those kind of people. If you think that if you're in a culture where you feel there's a strata, this social stratification that they taught us while we're in the university, or was it secondary school? I remember now. So where they taught us that some people are like this, some people are like this, and some people are like this. When your children now see the way you relate to the people that according to your strata, because it is your strata, I don't understand. God created everybody. So whether I'm a cook, whether I'm a lawyer, whether I'm a whatever. Yeah. So, but if you're in this, so it depends on the culture that you are now. So if you're in a culture where there's this strata thing is really, really on the high, and then some people are like this. When they see how you relate to those people that I think are like this, I know you know what I'm saying, then they're learning empathy from you. So the next time you're telling your driver to shut up, the next time you're telling your cook to shut up, the next time you're telling who else, people that take care of your house or even take care of those your children, you get out of my sight, you stupid. When they see how you talk to them, you're teaching them empathy, you're teaching them how to treat people. Oh, you didn't think so? That's what you're doing. When they see how you give them respect, when they see how you respect them because of that, the fact that they are human beings like you, when they see how you relate to them because of the fact that they're human beings like you, you're also teaching empathy. And when you also treat them because of how you are placed in society, you're also teaching them empathy. And you know what you're doing, what you're teaching them, they're going to do it back to you. You say, mommy, please spare me. Trust me, it's coming back because they have seen you do it so much. They have seen you do it so much, and they're going to think that that's the life. That's the right thing to do. So, my question is this: how are you relating with people that you think that they're like this? Your daughter. And girls are very fun. Girls like the soft life. I keep telling us, girls like easy life. Excuse me, please. Girls don't like stress. Girls like simple, easy, soft, easy peasy. They like to cross their legs and let everything be done. That's what girls like. So when they have soaked in so much of that, so much of it telling your cooks, your drivers, your D's, your dad, your nannies, whatever, people that work with you in the house, that help you in your home, so much of the things that you have told them, when they have seen so much of the way you relate with them, yes, you're teaching them. And don't forget the everything about empathy is doing what? Placing them in your shoes. If you were the driver, would you like to be spoken to in the way that you have just spoken to your driver? That's what you're teaching your child. That's what you're teaching your child. So some people can't stand their parents. When I say this, please believe me. I've worked with girls closely for at least 6 years. At least rather. I have seen girls that can't stand their parents. I've seen girls that can't wait to leave the house. I've seen girls that can't wait. Girls that tell you, once I leave the house, I'm not turning back. I have seen, and these are the things. Finally, you have to tell them your faith dictates on empathy. I'm of the Christian faith, and what the Bible teaches about empathy is that do unto others as you want them done unto you. And there's something that I have told my daughter over and over, and I still keep saying, is this. So let them know what God demands of them. So let them know that it's beyond just you trying to force your values down their throats now. Because at the end of the day, everyone is going to be answerable to God. Your daughter, yourself. My daughter is in an academy, more of a spiritual exercise kind of thing. And then the coach there always says, we pray that on the day of judgment, may our kids never be missing. That prayer, we don't know the importance. But I really pray too, that we too, that on that day, may we enter paradise with our kids as well. May our kids not be lost, and may we not be lost as well. It's a deep prayer. Yeah, it's a deep prayer. So let them understand. Let them know what God demands according to your faith. Whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, what does God demand about empathy, about treating people well, about treating people? I've seen unkind people. You don't want to raise a child like that. People that think it's all about people that don't care what they do to you, people that don't care that they harm you, people that don't care that they hurt you. They will not raise people like that. May we honestly not raise people like that. So let them know, what does your faith dictate about empathy. What does it say? I'm sure that if the Bible has said that, the Quran definitely has said that too. So let them understand. Let them know that it's a responsibility on them. Yeah, to never treat anyone bad. It is a responsibility that we hold each other. Because why do you want it to be done to you? So if you don't want it done to you, can you not do it to others? So let them know. So we've talked about 10 things. I'm going to just run through it again. I said number one, they have to understand empathy by the way you're living your own life. You raise their empathy level by feeling their unease and discomfort. A child that can't feel his or her pain when she's young, she can't feel your own pain when you're old. It's not possible. A child that you can't know by just merely looking at your child, you can't know that something is the matter. There's no way. Even if you're now calling that child to come, that because you are sick and you are dying, the child will not feel it, will not understand it. You don't understand because that's what you had. To raise their empathy level, feel their unease. And I've just told you the things that they can struggle with. They can really struggle with a lot of things. And if you're waiting for them to come to you, you're going to wait till the rapture of the church because they won't come to you. They rather go to their friends. Why? Because you're following an influence. So if you are now blessed, they now still show you, they communicate to you non-verbally, by actions, by inactions, by whatever, by tantrum, by whatever, and you're still able to figure out that something is matter with them. I mean, what are we talking about? Do you understand? So let it raise the empathy level by feeling their unease. Feel their unease. Feel it. Know it in your bones. Know it. Know it in your bones. Feel their discomfort. Then I said you raise the empathy level by doing what? By deflecting on their wants all the time. You can't keep saying yes to your child every time. You can't keep saying yes. You can't keep saying yes. It is dangerous. A child that you keep saying yes to, say yes. Everything is yes. It's dangerous parenting. It's dangerous. You can't say yes all the time. Your child can't have his or her way all the time. Because she's going to grow up in discipline. She's going to grow up uncurtailed. She's going to grow up demanding everything from everybody. And when she doesn't get it, she goes out of her way to do what's not necessary to get it. Because she's never used to say, she's not used to, she's never been said no to. Then the next thing I said, you have to understand the developmental stages of a teenage girl. You have to understand it. When you understand them, that is you trying to connect with them, building empathy with them. You understand when they're on period, when they're having their pimples, when they're having breakout on their skins, they're having rashes, all of those things bother them. Please go and know right now, in case you are just a pastor and everything is just about going to heaven. Your teenager doesn't want to go to heaven yet. And because of that, she bothers about her skin, about that. She will bother. So please just go and know how you want to relate with them. Oh no, let them. You have to let them understand that it is normal to happen, but it will go and all of that. Let them be able to see you as a human being. Let them be able to understand. Oh, mommy understands. That's empathy. Mom understands. Some of you spend expensive, a huge, humongous amount on getting beauty things for yourself and all of that. And when your teenager goes, mommy, and then you begin to say, you're not concentrating your studies. So this, I don't understand you. What are you even talking about? So let your teenager understand you. Let your teenager know that you understand what she's saying. That's how you're making her to also understand others. Usually you more at a much later date. All right. I said put your perfectionism tendency in check for now. Please put your perfectionism tendency between you and your spouse for now. Don't bring it to your teenager. They don't want perfect parents. Your teenager doesn't want a perfect parent. You want a relatable parent, a parent that understands, a parent that has been there, that has made those mistakes, those errors, you understand. So that's why I said don't be vulnerable to your kids. Don't present a narrative that's not real. Because they will see right through it. And they're going to hate you for the hypocrisy. They are. And I'm not even trying to gloss over things, or I'm not trying to scare you. That's what teenagers are going to do. You're going to see you as somebody that's hypocritical. What you have done, you're saying that you have not done it. They're going to call you until they can call you out. And trust this Gen Z, Gen Alpha, the ones that are coming, they will call you out. All right. There's a teach the difference between people pleasing and empathy. So I've told you that you put yourself in people's shoes does not mean that they should walk all over you. That's striking for even me for this evening. So let them understand. Yes, they can put themselves in people's shoes, but it doesn't mean that everybody has to walk over them. Everybody they have to, because they can't please everybody. And I use Jesus as an example. And I also said that you have to expose as them let them see you committed to a cause outside of what is beneficial to you. Let them see you live your life for other people. Let them see you serve other people. Let them see what you do for other people. Let them see what you do for humanity. Let them know you're not doing it for show. You are trying to teach them a way of life. All right, next thing, you have to expose them to the relationship between your parent, the relationship you have with your parents. And if you know that your relationship with your parents is not so smooth, please work on it. If you need to forgive, if you need to do anything, if you need to just let it go, whatever, so that your child can learn how to relate with you when you are old. I've seen how my mommy does her mom, and I just smile. And I say, my grandma has been ill for a while, and then and my mommy, the way she just zoomed to action, went to carry her from her own house, brought her to her own home. And I said, mommy, your mommy is old. I said, what? She said, what do you mean? What do you mean? Which old? I said, oh, you don't want her to go? I said, go where? Someone that still want her to be here for the next 30 years. And as I'm speaking to you this evening, my grandma is still with my mom. That's a lesson for me. I don't know whether you understand what I am saying. That's a lesson for me. As old as I am, that's a lesson. That's a lesson. She didn't have to sit me down to say, care for me, take care of me. No, I've seen it practicalized. Do you understand? So I know what, it doesn't matter. Whatever they might have done, that's the level of their knowledge. But can we do better? So that you don't soil what should happen between your children and your parents, expose them to that relationship. All right, the next thing I talked about, I said you teach it when they see your relationship with people, not as placed as you. Your drivers, your gardeners, your cooks, people that wash your clothes, that wash your toilets. They see how you live with them. They see how you talk to them. They see what you do to them. They see how you fling things at them. They see how you treat them as unimportant because of by the level of by the quality of the work that they are doing. They see everything, and you're teaching them that that's how to treat people. And I hope you know that a person is different from the chore that they do. A person is different from the work that they do. I hope you know that. All right. And finally, tell them your faith dictates on empathy. What does your faith talk about empathy? They have to know. It's a responsibility. All of us have the responsibility to raise people that are kind. I don't know why this is such a call, but it's a call for me. We need to raise people that because when people are kind, they won't do bad things to other people. They won't do mean things to other people. When a boy is kind, a boy will not rape a girl. When he is kind, you don't have to, he's not gonna you don't have to, what's the word now, he's not gonna go out of his way, because why? That has been imbibed from him right from child. And when a girl is kind, she will not go and be doing silly things. So we have a duty to raise people that are kind, people that can think of other people that can go beyond just themselves, people that think of what other people that can think collective, that what can we all come together to do as a person. It's our duty to raise that person. And you're raising that person when they are seeing how you're relating. I've told you, expose your children to the relationship you have with your parents. Let them see how you relate to your parents. Let them see how you honor your parents. Let them see how you take care of your parents. Let them see. It is for your sake too. It's for your sake. And don't forget, they will leave. But the question is, when they leave, do they want to come back? Do they look forward to holidays with you? That would be, that would be your scorecard. That's the word I was looking for. That's gonna be your scorecard. When they leave, you don't want to come. Some of us don't want to go to our parents' home. I don't know what happened to us when we were younger there. But I really hope that when my daughter leaves my home, I really pray that she wants to come. Not come and live with me. No. To just come and spend time, spend moments with me. That's my scorecard. And don't forget, I keep saying, I'm on this course with you. I'm raising somebody too. Yeah, let's do it together. Let's parent for the win. All right, thank you for your time. Have you bought that book yet? What's the title of that book now? What's the title now? What's the title? What's the title? Good etiquette. A girl child's pathway to excellence. Go get the book. Your girl will learn something. Work in the next one. Have you learned something? If you have learned something, please like this channel, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Let's grow this community together. And don't forget, I am Fumino Lakintola Williams. I'm the lead coach at the Informed and Reformed Things Academy. I'll be here next week, and I'm raising girls, yes, to fulfill purpose. Thank you for your time. I don't take this for granted. Bye bye.